First question being is a lot of people out there, I'm assuming you're associated with the film. Is this the first time a lot of you have been able to see it? Yeah. Excellent. And as Luke asked, I'm assuming you all enjoyed it? Yeah. Very good.
Don't have to. Can I be honest?
Just checking you're all still awake. Right. Okay, so would you like to introduce yourselves to the audience one at a time and what your involvement is with the film, and in the case of you two gentlemen down there, how you came to be involved in the project?
Okay, so I'm Luke Hefferman, so I'm the director, writer and producer. There we are.
I'm Daniel Brace. I play Al, and I take young Eddie under my wing.
And I'm Eddie Linina. I play Darren, the main actor, and yeah.
And how did you two guys become involved in the project?
It was pretty random, to be honest. I'm part of a couple talent agencies online, and Luke just dropped me a message one day, said if you're down to be in this big vision he had. So I met up with him, had a coffee, looked at the script, ran through a few scenes, and yeah, it just went from there.
Yeah. And I think I applied on Mandy, and originally I don't think I was old enough or young enough, and then I applied for a while, didn't hear for a while, then got back, and actually was part of it.
Okay, Luke. What was it that led to this project? Obviously, it's quite a topical subject.
Well, I mean, it's quite a in London. I mean, with obviously what's going on at the moment, it's kind of a subject that's quite relevant. So, that's why I wanted to kind of bring this story to life, and it was also just coming across a few stories in newspapers and things like that never have a big place in a newspaper. I just thought it was, it might be important to actually say one of these stories. I thought that would be really important and something a bit different, really, more than anything else. So that's where it really all started. I kind of knew that this kind of film, wouldn't be easy to promote, at least on the commercial level, as you can understand. But I don't think that's always the most important. As a filmmaker, sometimes you just want to make something that you want to make. Yeah.
And when did you decide on the style? Because I said to you earlier on outside, a lot of you won't be old enough to remember this, but there's a film by a guy called Abel Ferrara called Driller Killer, and I felt that the look was really, really similar. What led you to that look?
Well, I kind of feel like a lot of films nowadays are always focused on how clean looking they are, and I don't think it's always about that. Sometimes it's just good to give it a different look. Something a bit, it's a gritty movie, so if it's got a bit of a gritty look, it's not it kind of goes together really. So.
And tell us a little bit about the locations that you used for filming, and how long did it take to shoot?
So basically, I'm always between France and England and London, and when I do stay in London, I kind of stay in Kennington. And they always say, when you don't have much money to make a film, make a movie in your surroundings. And basically, I'm right next to a very famous estate called the Aylesbury Estate, and it's just a great location to make a movie. They don't actually want people to make movies there anymore, because lots of filmmakers go there. It's great. It's just great for that. And I think it's more kind of the people from that estate. They don't like it because it always seems to be negative stories that are told in the Aylesbury Estate. So it's kind of understandable. But in the end, that estate is actually going to be knocked down pretty soon.
Nice to get in there before it comes down.
Exactly.
And in terms of your shooting time?
It was basically a whole summer. We finished some of the shoot later on in the year, just a few scenes that needed to be finished. And obviously, when there isn't a lot of money to make a film, it's all about trying to get people to be available when they can, and for it all to work at the same time with everyone. So obviously, it always pulls on a bit longer than planned. But I was surprised how quickly it went. Actually, it did kind of come together quite quick.
And
for an indie, low budget film. Yeah.
As someone that wears a lot of hats, tell us a little bit about the editing process. How long did that take?
The editing was really well. I mean, you kind of go through it and kind of change it constantly. It was really just the first phase of putting it all together, and really hoping that it would actually work out as a movie in the first place. And I kind of, after the first edit, I could see, okay, I can make this work. I can make it into a movie. Because there were little ups and downs during the shoot. Actors dropping out and stuff like that in the middle of the shoot, and so I did have to play around a bit sometimes to kind of make it work. But I think I've pulled it off just about. Yeah.
Have we got any questions from the audience? Come on, don't be shy. Wow.
Yeah.
Did I hear it yet?
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just wondering what your casting process is, and also how long the actors had with the script before shooting.
The casting process, basically, I really wanted people that would fit the specific character. Mostly for the smaller roles, I'd say the way the person looked was very important. When it was more involved, obviously it's what the actor could actually give me that was more important. When it came to, for example, Eddie, the main actor, initially what I wanted was a much younger actor. I actually wanted a 12-year-old, but it's just as well it was with Eddie, and I did it with a 15-year-old, 16 at the time. But I was looking for a 12-year-old because I thought it would be even more intense with a younger kind of kid. So, but I mean, Eddie really pulled off a great job. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that I had to change it really. I mean, it's just the process with having a much younger actor. You've got to let the councils know about you shooting with them, where you're shooting with them, and so it's the budget would literally double or triple just for that. So yeah, and yeah, really it was just like as you do, you get a video audition initially, and then you kind of see them afterwards once you've kind of gone through all of the video auditions, and you just really bring it down to who really fits the part the best at the time with who you've got. Yeah.
Did anyone ever put any pressure on you to, I say pressure, I'm not talking like physical pressure, but to give it a slightly nicer ending? You know, when you're making film, everyone's got an opinion, don't they, as you're shooting it? Did anyone say, oh, do you think this is a bit...
No, not really.
Nice.
I think it was such a kind of like personal kind of project that, if I had, more producers on board with me, and, it would have been a bit more complicated on that level. Obviously, it's easier for other things, when it comes to organising everything. It would be a lot simpler. But because, I put myself through doing most of that, if not all of it, it kind of, freed up a lot of things for me when it came to the creative side of things. And the end of the story, I mean, that's the main thing of the film. I mean, what you'll see in the newspaper is that story at the end of a 15-year-old contract killer. And you don't actually know what's behind all of that, and that's basically what the story's about. So if you took away that, then it wouldn't be the film.
Yeah, and I guess it sets up the sequel quite nicely as well. When I come out of jail, nice and hench, and run the things myself.
What was it like for you in terms of like, because you know you go on quite a journey, don't you, as a character? How did you find all that?
It was good. I think I'm quite young in my career myself, and these guys, Luke and all the other actors, taught me a lot. Every single day I was learning new things, and I was excited to look at the script and see what I was shooting next. And I think by like the midpoint in the film, I'm reading scenes that look really quite exciting to shoot, and it's taught me so much going into like finishing that shoot, going into other stuff I've been doing, like plays and stuff like that. So yeah.
We got any other questions up there? Yeah. Lady in the middle.
Yeah. What do you want to do with the film now that it's finished? Do you have a purpose for it going forward?
Well, really, to go to festivals. As I said, the problem with this film is it's not what you'd call a commercial film. So, really, yes. I mean, just going to different festivals all over the world, including this brilliant festival, the Romford Film Festival. Really nice having showing my film here. So that's really the main thing, and it's kind of an experience for everyone. And you learn a lot from it, and for my next film I'd have learnt a lot from this one, what to do differently and all that really. So that's it really.
While we're on the subject of next, for all of you, what is next?
Well, for me personally, I like writing, so I'll just be writing whatever I've got loads of ideas, and it's just kind of like putting it on paper initially, and then taking it from there. Same
I've obviously got a lot of ambition. I'm doing a few comedy things at the minute, a couple of mockumentaries, and another comedy feature film's come out, and the world is your oyster.
For me, I'm gonna go home and watch Love Island first of all.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. Tomorrow I'm back here for the award ceremony. Hopefully I can bag the best actor. I've been nominated for that. It's an honour to be nominated. So that's enough for me. But in the long term, definitely more acting, more theatre stuff, more feature film stuff. Hopefully link up with these guys again soon for some other projects and some music as well.
And obviously getting ready for a sequel.
Yes, exactly. So we'll see.
Stray Dog 2.
Yeah.
When you... Sorry, lost my train of thought. It's a long day. When you finished the film, how long did it take before you started sharing it with people, like in your close circle?
Well, I got from closer friends. I wanted to see what they thought about it. I mean, in the end, it probably comes down to them when they told me, look, okay, because you know what it's like when you make a film, you're never happy. So there's a point where they actually came in and said to me, that's fine, that will do. That will do. You've done as much as you can on this one. You're never going to be happy. And just let it be as it is, and if you're not happy, then just move on to something else and do something else.
And what was the most problematic aspect of shooting the film?
Not having as much money as I wanted. That would have solved a lot of problems, obviously. I mean, certain things, whether it's the sounds, there's all kinds of things. I mean, I can't, there's a whole list. I'm not gonna go through each one because, but I mean, the sound obviously that can maybe still be improved. I mean, at the end, as I said, you're never really happy with the final result. But you just have to, sling in the, I don't know, the white towel if you want to say, okay, that's it.
I think the end result was good. Do you not? And if Bill, I'm going to target Bill here. If Bill dropped a bag of money on you in front of you, say £1 million, what sort of film would you make?
Oh God, there's all kinds of films I'd love to make. Maybe if I did have a lot of money, then it would obviously be like sci-fi or something like that. But at least for the moment, I can write some sci-fi, and that's it really. Yeah.
Last question for all of you: who are your inspirations?
there's many really. Do you guys want to go first?
I think obviously my boy Evs is in the crowd somewhere there. He's a actor as well. I look up to him a lot. And other than that, just like DiCaprio and stuff like that. And Tom Hardy, my favourite actor.
And obviously people from Love Island.
Not as much this year. Maybe
okay.
maybe last year.
Yeah, obviously, like Eddie said, Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously he's up there. Daniel Day-Lewis, I absolutely love. Tom Hardy again, and Daniel Brace, he's real good.
Oh, for me, there's many. I don't know where to start. David Lynch, I love him. Quentin Tarantino, he's great. There's lots of them really. Who else? I've forgotten his name. The guy from JFK and all of that. What's his name? Oh God.
Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone, yes.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love Oliver Stone. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you ever so much for bringing the film to us, and thank you for a really good turnout, and it's good to see that you've got so much support from the people involved in the film, and we hope to see follow the journey of Stray Dog and see where you go from here, and hopefully you get your sequel. And yeah, thank you ever so much, guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.